So I know Adam Silver had made a comment about the skill, like guys are coming in really skilled, but that doesn't translate to team basketball. How do we change that? Is it something that can be changed? And why do you think players are developing that way?
I think that there's a ton more individual training now, which makes these kids more skilled, but I think there's less pickup basketball. I mean, we played basketball at the park all the way through college, you know what I mean, and just pick up in gyms, and I think there's less of that and more individual skill training, which is a reason why the skill level is so high, but the IQ is a little bit behind. So I just think you need more good coaches to really teach these kids and take them under the wing and understand to teach them how to play team basketball.
Do you think those coaches maybe should start being like former players and whatnot?
I mean, I definitely think that helps. You mean not all players? Not playing. But yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, one thing also amazing about this, you're seeing so many former NBA dads here, whether they're coaching or just here supporting as fathers. Out here. So I definitely think, you know, the message is starting to get out there, and we just need to continue to teach our kids.
Listen up, because Matt Barnes just delivered the most brutal reality check in basketball history, and every G League hooper watching this is about to get their feelings destroyed. This 14-year NBA veteran didn't hold back when he said these flashy wannabes will never be Kyrie Irving or James Harden. And guess what? He's absolutely right. And I'm about to tell you exactly why your dreams are getting crushed today.
In the G League compared to the NBA, though, I think the games are a little different.
The NBA more organized, bro. Like, you know who gonna shoot that bitch. You know where to be, what plays you're gonna run. In the G League, you out there confused, like, you know, honestly. Not me, but I'm saying, like, you can see that players don't really know how the game's supposed to get played, like what's going on and type shit.
G League is probably a lot more grimier too, like, cause you know, you got everybody trying to get up to the NBA, so
it's dudes
like
down there that can hoop though. Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, there's guys in the G League. I want to say Siakam was down there.
Yep.
He's one of the best players in the NBA now. So there's some people on the street probably, if you gave them the right opportunity, they can come and hoop.
Matt Barnes didn't stutter when he called out these delusional G League players. He straight up said, "You'll never be Kyrie and Harden." And you know what? Good. Someone finally had the guts to say what every NBA scout, coach, and veteran has been thinking for years. These kids are living in a fantasy world, thinking their little playground moves and Instagram highlight reels are going to land them a $40 million contract. Wake up. You're not Kyrie Irving. You're not James Harden. You're not even close. And here's the brutal reality. You never will be. Barnes knows what real NBA talent looks like because he played alongside Kobe Bryant, won championships, and earned every single one of his 940 career games. When a man like that speaks, you listen.
To me, Kobe is the second greatest player of all time, period.
You know, guys out here talking crazy about Bean right now.
None of this weird talk was going on while he was here. I work for ESPN, I work for Fox, some of these big machines. When you have people talking about the greatness of players, it's not that I don't respect it, I just don't go by it. And I think a lot of former players don't go by it.
But instead, these G League dreamers are too busy practicing their behind-the-back dribbles to hear the truth. Let me paint you a picture of what's really happening in gyms across America right now. Some kid who couldn't even make his high school varsity team is spending 4 hours a day working on Kyrie's signature crossover. He's got the handles down, he can do the spin move, he's memorized every single dribbling combo from YouTube tutorials. But here's what that same player can't do. He can't guard a chair. He won't dive for loose balls. He thinks rebounding is beneath him. He's never heard of help defense, and if you ask him to set a screen, he'll probably try to make it look flashy. These hoopers have convinced themselves that one viral TikTok is their golden ticket to the league. They think scouts are sitting in the stands with their jaws dropped, ready to offer contracts to anyone who can dribble between their legs 15 times in a row.
These players now play accidental basketball, and it drives me and Phil crazy because it's all penetrating pitch. You may make the shot, you may not. You have no idea who's going to be open or whatever. It's accidental basketball.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Gilbert Arenas said it best when he pointed out that these players train for highlights, not wins.
I saw what happened when the prototype number 1 came into the league, and you didn't know what to do with it, which was Grant Hill. 2 guard, 3 guard, who actually went left to right. Y'all didn't know what the was going on when he crossed over. Yeah, you had the guard, you had Tim Hardaway, who had the Timmy cross. You never had a 2-3 that actually crossed that fast. And he was barbecuing, Pippen, Jordan, and Rodman. And crossover, and he couldn't shoot a lick. Younger Grant Hill he didn't shoot very well, but he got to the basket like no other. So if you couldn't deal with prototype 1, what makes you think you can deal with the 2010-20 prototype of guard? You can't. The moves that they do now, you've never seen in your life. So you wouldn't be able to guard and try to do the thing. Like these There's just Euro stepping over your 210 body. Euro step pushing you into that lane. 80s people think you didn't actually stop me. You just like fouling was defense. Fouled me till I just wanted to give up.
They're so obsessed with looking good that they forgot basketball is about putting the ball in the hoop and stopping the other team from doing the same. Basic concept, right? Apparently not. You want to know why Kyrie Irving is Kyrie Irving? It's not just the handles. Yeah, the man has some of the sickest dribbling skills in NBA history, but that's maybe 20% of what makes him special. The other 80%? He can finish under pressure, with defenders draped all over him. In clutch moments when the game is on the line, he's got one of the most reliable jump shots in the league. His basketball IQ is off the charts.
Listen, I will call Kyrie the wizard. There was nothing on the basketball floor that Kyrie couldn't do.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of possessions where you're locked up one-on-one against Kyrie Irving. What's that challenge like? What can you do to try to nullify, thwart, stop, whatever it is?
And when he steps on that court, he impacts winning. James Harden? Same story. You think his signature move is just a step-back three? Please. Harden revolutionized the game because he understood how to manipulate defenses, draw fouls, and create advantages for his team. He's a walking mismatch who averaged over 36 points per game in his prime while leading teams to the playoffs year after year.
James Harden is the greatest scorer in the game today. This brother is something special. He's that sensational.
These G League players see the flashy stuff and think that's the whole package. They're trying to copy the seasoning without learning how to cook the meal. Tracy McGrady warned about exactly this. Players confusing street ball with real basketball structure. You can't just cherry-pick the highlights and expect to compete at the highest level. LeBron James didn't become the king because of his tomahawk dunks.
I just put my guard down and said, Bron, you the best. You got it. It took J.J. Redick's quote for me to get to here. He like, let's break each one of them down. Like,
LeBron James, is he an all-time great scorer? No, he is the all-time greatest scorer.
He became LeBron because he's arguably the smartest player ever, with an unmatched work ethic and the ability to make everyone around him better. Steph Curry didn't change basketball just because he can shoot from deep.
I think it's how Steph got the gold is more important than just the medal itself. He showed on the highest level he's clutch. Not the media's version of clutch. You know, hitting shots with 3 seconds left and, you know, whatever metrics that they came up with to make themselves sound smarter. Not that clutch. Basketball clutch, where we're in the middle of a back and forth. Every shot I take now is pressured. Every shot you take now, you're trying to win and I'm trying to keep you at bay. Those last 4 shots were pressure shots because if he misses them, it's a different game. People are going to remember this moment in Steph's career more than probably any shot he's taken.
He changed it because he understands spacing, movement, and how to exploit every inch of the court while being an elite decision maker under pressure. Luka Doncic isn't special because he can do fancy passes. He's special because he's essentially playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, reading defenses 3 moves ahead and controlling the pace of the game like a maestro. Here's where Matt Barnes' message hits like a freight train. While these delusional hoopers are practicing their between-the-legs combos, NBA coaches are looking for players who can do the dirty work. You want to make it to the league? Learn how to play defense. Not highlight reel blocks, but consistent, grinding, possession after possession defense. Learn how to rotate. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to make the right read every single time. Can you rebound? Not just the easy ones, but can you box out a guy who's stronger than you and fight for every single board? Can you set a solid screen that actually frees up your teammate? Can you make the corner 3 when it matters? J.J. Redick spent 15 years in the NBA, and you know what his superpower was? He was reliable.
What was your favorite team to play with and that you felt like had the best chance to win a championship? Some of those Clipper teams we all thought would have a legit chance at winning a championship.
When I look back at my career, the years I'm most fond of were my Clipper days for a number of reasons. Number 1, because we were good. Number 2, because it really was the type of basketball that I liked. You had 5 guys that complemented each other. There was an intelligence required to play against us. We were very smart. That's fun basketball.
When his team needed a corner 3, he made it. When they needed him to run through screens for 35 minutes, he did it. When they needed perfect spacing and movement, he delivered. But these G League kids think that's boring basketball. They want to be the show, the highlight, the main character. They don't understand that basketball is the ultimate team sport, and the players who make it are the ones who make their teammates better. Kendrick Perkins laid it out perfectly. These young players are so worried about their individual brands that they've forgotten how to win games. They're more concerned with their handles than their help defense. They care more about their crossover than their conditioning. Let me give you some numbers that'll crush your soul. There are roughly 450 NBA roster spots. 450 in a country of over 330 million people, where millions of kids grow up dreaming of the league. The G League has about 350 players. Most of them will never sniff an NBA contract. The ones who do make it, they're not making it because of their fancy dribbling. They're making it because they can guard multiple positions, hit open shots, and understand their role. Matt Barnes wasn't lying when he said these players will never be Kyrie or Harden. But here's the thing. They don't need to be Kyrie or Harden to have a career. The problem is they're so obsessed with being superstars that they won't accept being role players. The NBA is full of players who made careers out of doing the little things. But these flashy wannabes think that's beneath them. They'd rather be unemployed with sick handles than employed as a defensive specialist. And that's exactly why most of them will never make it. The biggest difference between real NBA players and these G League dreamers isn't talent, it's mindset. NBA players understand that every possession matters. Every defensive rotation matters. Every box out matters. These flashy hoopers think basketball is about individual moments. They're training for the one play that's going to make them famous instead of training for the 100 plays that actually determine if you win or lose. They spend hours perfecting a crossover that they'll use maybe 3 times per game, but they won't spend 5 minutes learning how to properly switch on a screen. They'll practice their signature dunk for Instagram, but they won't work on their weak hand finish. This is what happens when social media starts defining what's valuable in basketball. A good defensive rotation doesn't go viral. A solid box out doesn't get likes. Setting a perfect screen doesn't trend on TikTok. But you know what? Those are the skills that get you paid. Matt Barnes delivered the ultimate reality check, and every G League player needs to hear it. You want to make it to the NBA? Stop trying to be Kyrie Irving and James Harden. Start trying to be the best version of yourself. Learn your role. Master the fundamentals. Understand that basketball is about team success, not individual highlight reels. Work on your weaknesses instead of just polishing your strengths. The players who make it to the league aren't always the most talented. They're the ones who understand what NBA teams actually need. They're the ones who can impact winning without needing to be the star. But if you're going to keep living in your fantasy world, thinking your handles are going to carry you to a max contract, then Matt Barnes already told you exactly where that's going to get you. Nowhere. The choice is yours. You can either accept reality and adapt your game, or you can keep chasing highlights while real opportunities pass you by. That's the harsh truth nobody wants to tell these G League dreamers, but Matt Barnes said it with his chest. If this reality check hit you as hard as it should have, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe for more brutal basketball truths, and let me know in the comments. Are these flashy hoopers delusional, or do they just need better guidance? Drop a comment below and let's keep this conversation going.